What's up? What's up? All right. I'm Combat Craig. I'm a Desert Storm veteran, and I currently whatever, have 100% permanent and total disability rating. Got it last year, and I should have got it 1991. No use crying over spilt milk, kids. It's not a cute claim. It's never going to happen. I'm happy with what I have now, and I'm defending it. Today's topic is advice to veterans about CNP exams. So, ask questions and comments and blah, blah, blah about CNP exams. Those are the questions I'm going to be talking about because I want to actually turn this into a video and keep it about CNP exams, compensation and pension exams. So I'm going to ramble on about what I know and what I think you should know. And feel free to chime in. And, if you have other questions, feel free to ask. I'm just going to be answering the CNP exam ones. So have you had one lately? When was your last CNP exam? When were you in? What branch of the service were you in? I'll do that myself. USAF 88 to 91. Let's start there. All right, so before we hop into it, I want to address my qualifications to talk about VA claims. I saw this a couple times and it makes me laugh. Every time I see this pop up, who are you to be talking about VA claims? Well, the person asking, I'm assuming you're a veteran. There's this little thing called the First Amendment, the right to free speech. I'm exercising that right, the right that you defended. So I created this YouTube channel to talk about VA claims. I could talk about whatever I want. This interests me, and people are interested in what I have to say. Don't have a big head. I'm just saying people are interested. The channel's growing, and people watch the videos. So that's why I do it. I have absolutely zero qualifications other than I'm a veteran. I've been in the VA claims process. I've got my butt kicked quite a few times, and then I finally won, and now I'm 100% permanent and total. And that's all thanks to learning how to win. And I hired VA Claims Insider to help me do that. And now I'm sharing, what I've learned, and now my eyes are open and I'm paying attention a lot more. So I see patterns, I see, trends, whatever. So I just come on here and talk about it. If you don't like what I have to say, you could switch to another channel. Or you could start your own channel called Combat Craig Sucks. And you could point out all my errors and imperfections and when I stutter and don't know what I'm talking about. There's plenty of that stuff. Actually, the first person that does Combat Craig Sucks, I want to get you on here to interview you about how bad I suck. I think that would be kind of funny. So, again, we're going to talk about CNP exams, compensation and pension exams. So let's post them in the chat here, and then I'm going to just kind of scroll through and answer them as I can, and I'll try not to make it like I normally do, where I answer one question and I don't do a very good job. I probably need a moderator, but a moderator means a schedule. I don't like schedules. I don't like calendars. When I feel like talking, I talk. When I don't, I don't. That's kind of how I do my videos. Whenever I'm feeling it, that's when I roll in front of the camera. So I'm kind of doing that with the live stuff here. So what is a CNP exam? A compensation and pension exam. By the way, how do you like my background? I ditched the grass. So a CNP exam is ordered for you by the VA. If you prove your claim enough, the VA might send you to a CNP exam to verify your disabilities. So a couple scenarios. You file a claim. You say you have whatever you have. You provide zero medical evidence. You have no records of anything. It's not even in your service treatment records. No current diagnosis, no treatment, no complaints. It's just you saying, hey, my neck's broken. I want 100%. Pay me. Most likely, in that scenario, you wouldn't even get a CNP exam because they would just deny your claim because it's stupid. You're filing a medical disability claim and you're providing zero medical evidence. So they can do that, and it happens a lot. And people like, oh, can they do that? Yeah, if you don't get a CNP exam, it's possible you didn't even bring your claim up to the low bar of let's give the veteran the benefit of the doubt and the duty to assist. So on the flip side of that coin, if you provide plenty of medical evidence, they can make a decision without an exam. And that's what happened when I filed my last claim for combat PTSD. I tried to file it before. There was a lot of mentions in there. I was getting treatment for it, but I never had the diagnosis. I filed a previous claim. I have my stressor. I remember, I mean, I'm never going to forget that. So I have my stressor statement. I think that's the 0781 or something like that. Personal statement. You know, I lined it all up, but I did not provide a diagnosis. So on this last claim that I won, I wasn't even sent to a CNP exam for combat PTSD. They saw that I was a combat veteran. They saw that I had an adjustment disorder right after Desert Storm started. They, listened to my consistent story over the years, and I didn't even need one. I went to a CNP exam for something different, but it's, all over the board. They can either, not send you to one because you didn't prove your claim, or they can not send you one because you proved it plenty and they've got all the evidence they need to decide your claim for you. So that's what it is. It's the duty to assist. So do you need to show up to your CNP exam? Yes, you need to show up. Well, I don't want to. My anxiety's up. I don't have a ride. Excuses, lame. Like just call it quits on your claim right there. You do absolutely have to show up for your CNP exam. If you don't, you're sinking your claim. The VA is using the duty to assist. It's something that is afforded to us as veterans. I mean, I know that I'm pretty hard on the duty to assist. The VA in general, the VHA, the VBA, a lot of people. I don't really like people, so I'm rough on everybody. So everybody is, equal hater. But that's what's going on. You filed a claim. You brought enough medical evidence to the table, private medical evidence, service treatment records, complaints because you've been going to the VA or whatever. And they are using the duty to assist, and they're sending you to a CNP exam to evaluate your disability. Is the disability what you say it is? Because a lot of times you'll see stuff when you've filed claims in the past, and it'll be like owie on elbow, because you could write whatever you want. Again, the duty to assist, they'll nail it down. They'll convert owie on elbow to scar. Scar is code this. Scar's 0% most of the time. So, I would probably just get a 0% for scars. That didn't happen. So you have to show up. If exam was not necessary, they would not have ordered one for you. I just explained that to you. An exam in my case for combat PTSD, it was not necessary. I provided them with enough medical evidence. If they're ordering you a CNP exam, it's on purpose for a reason. Show up. If you don't show up, you're going to lose your claim. I mean, I'm like 99% sure. I'm sure some cases have happened. Today I learned something new from 2 subscribers, and I'm going to talk about another part of a video because I was touching on CNP exams today. If you haven't seen that video yet, check it out. can't remember what it's. I think I was talking about documenting everything. And I'll go into what I really meant because that got twisted and it was kind of funny. So today I learned from two subscribers. One is Metal Mark, and I can't remember who the other one is off the top of my head. But he said, "Hey, I went to an ortho exam, and QTC, who is an outside contractor, there's VES, QTC, LHI. There's another one. Those are like the main ones. I've been to VES and QTC. So when he went for his orthopedic CNP exam, the CNP examiner wanted to let him know that she will be using a goniometer, which is this little goofy protractor thing that I've used in videos. It's kind of glaring, but it's used to measure range of motion. You can only bend this much, right? It's got a, I don't know how this thing goes, but it'll have a little number on there. Like they're supposed to tell you a number. That's what you're going for, how much you can bend. If you can only bend so much, how is a doctor or a CNP examiner or whatever it is, how are they going to just eyeball you? And their eyeballs are calibrated to tell the difference between what 15 degrees is and 16 degrees. Impossible. I don't care how much experience you have, doc. Put the goniometer on me. And then we can kind of get into how the goniometer is used. But I thought it was interesting that the doctor kind of started it off saying, "Hey, I'm going to be using a goniometer, and I want you to sign this piece of paper acknowledging that I'm going to be using it." I thought this was really cool. I'm not sure if this is just QTC, if other contractors are using it. If you guys know, please chime in, because this is a big development, I think. A good one for us. So I don't know if the VA CNP examiners are doing it. I don't know where it is. This is the first I've heard of it, but it's awesome because, Brian's talked about this. Leah's talked about this. I've talked about this. This is my first prop, 695 goniometer. I've never used it properly because I'm like looking at my video feed to make sure that I'm like live and it reflects, and I use it backwards, but whatever. We're talking about inadequate CNP exams because the measurements were taken improperly or just not even recorded properly. And this is like legal stuff. And yeah, so this is a new development. I think it's good. If it's something that the VA is rolling out nationwide, that's awesome. You know what your range of motion is. I mean, granted, a doctor can eyeball you. If he's been doing it for 30 years, I'm sure he knows the different categories, like you're supposed to understand where you are. The doctor does the same thing, so I'm sure he can eyeball you. But if you're arguing this in court 3 years later, that would be good, useful evidence. So goniometer, plastic protractor thing. An orthopedic exam is an exam for anything that actually hurts you in your body, your neck, your back, your shoulders, stuff that moves and breaks and sprains, and right, legs, knees, feet. I'm not going to name all the body parts, tons of them. Yeah, so there's a Metal Mark is hopping in right here, and this is where I got it from. So he signed the form but forgot to ask for a copy of the letter that he signed acknowledging that the CNP examiner used the goniometer. Get your copy, don't forget. So that's another useful tip. Thanks for sharing that with me earlier, Metal Mark. And yeah, that's not bad advice. Grab a copy if you can. I was talking about, and this is a segue into recording the CNP exam, getting mental notes, memorandum for record, paying attention to what's going on. The CNP exam is the most important day in your exam. Like, it's literally, you're filing a claim, you proved it with whatever weak evidence you proved it with, or whatever strong evidence you proved it with. And now it's up to a CNP examiner, and then the VA rater is going to look very heavily at the, where'd my little smoke go? I dropped it. The CNP or the rater is going to rely heavily on the CNP examiner's notes. So while I'm looking for this little stupid thing, there we go. So tangent time, can't remember where I was going. Oh, so you should take mental notes of what is going on in your CNP exam. You're gonna be nervous. You should be nervous. I mean, it's only $3,100 a month tax free till you die. No big deal, right? I mean, of course you're gonna be nervous. They actually understand that, but I suggest that you ramp it up a little bit more and be aware. Situational awareness is, what's this guy like? Is he and I don't mean is he a nice guy or is he a nice girl? It doesn't matter about the pleasantries. Do not write if they thank you for the service. They'll all thank you for their service. Doesn't matter what your impression is of them. Doesn't matter what they say they're going to do for you. They do that. Oh yeah, I'm going to hook it up, Combat Craig. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. What matters is, did you go in there and talk about your exam and get the points down that you want to get down? So I said, take mental notes and record them on paper. I've been pretty consistent about this. I guess the way it came off was record it, like secretly record it with a tape recorder. So this is another strange rabbit hole we got to go down. That was my Mountain Dew looking in that green screen. So should you bring a GoPro in or a hidden tape recorder into your CNP exam? I would say no. That just sounds like it's probably illegal in a bunch of states. It's sneaky at the very least. And so I would not advise sneaking a tape recorder in. They're not sneaking a tape recorder in on you. And if they are recording you, they usually tell you. So if you just, if you can't remember and can't write notes and stuff like that, you could ask them. Again, it's an adversarial start to something that you already have challenges with. You're there to do your CNP exam, not talk about tape recording laws in whatever state you live in. Well, I live in a one-party consent, so I can record whatever I want. Great. So cool. Your CNP exam lasted 10 minutes. Now you have some doctor on the offensive explaining HIPAA laws to you, and you just ate up half of that time, that precious time you have to prove your claim, talking about tape recording. So he might tell you, this is what I would do. If I was a CNP exam doctor and you were asking me if you could record it, I would tell you, get your head out of your state's recording laws and go learn about medical evidence and go get some so you can go win your claim next time, because that's what this is about: medical disability, medical evidence. I do not recommend recording. That said, there are states that have one-party consent recording laws. I live in one of them. One party means I can record whatever I want as long as I know that I'm recording it. That's it. That's the way it works. So this is a free country. You fought for it. You could do whatever you want. I wouldn't do anything illegal, and I don't think it's a good idea to sneak a tape recorder into your CNP exam. Where this comes from, possibly, or where this came from, possibly, is independent medical exams are often recorded. Now I'm switching out of a CNP exam into the workers' comp world. Your workers' comp lawyer will ask if the exam can be recorded. The doctor will either say yes or no. And if he says yes, he'll be like, all right, yep, you can record me. That'll be $800 extra. that you pay, right, as the workers' comp claimant. And if any of you guys been in a workers' comp claim and know this or have experienced this, let me know. But the doctor's going to charge you $800, and then you're going to hire your lawyer's going to hire a professional videographer to do the recording, mic 1 2 3, and have his tripod there, and that guy's going to charge you $800. So they do this in depositions and official independent medical exams for disability claims and workers' comp, but CNP exams, that's not what this is and not what this is about. So that's basically what I have to say about CNP exams. Let's go through the comments here and see what's going on, what's good out there in the world. You lowballed yourself. Yep. I've talked to a few of you guys. And yeah, when you realize you lowballed yourself, you need to make a decision. Get rid of your shitty claim you're going to lose. Like, your effective date affects nothing. Like, it's a loser. It's garbage. Throw it in the trash. I mean, you can take your chance on hiring a lawyer, and 27 years down the road, the guy might be able to find some kind of loophole and get it won for you. I mean, throw it away and file a new claim with good medical evidence, with a good independent medical opinion from a private doctor representing your interests. So if you go to the CNP exam, that's their interest. The CNP exam, you're not hiring them. The VA hires these contractors, not you. And they don't do what you say. You may go like, "Wow, I checked one part of my elbow." Well, maybe they told him, "Hey, just go measure his scar." They didn't say go find out range of motion, because they already have that info. Don't go in there stupid. I agree. Angel had a CNP exam for PTSD. The rater said you had mild moderate. So your decision letter, is that what you're saying? Because if you're talking to the examiner, he might say that, although he shouldn't be talking about your rating. So you could probably got a decision rater. I don't understand the question. The rater wouldn't say you had mild moderate. The rater would rate you with 0, 10, or 30%, and that's what your rating would be. So maybe you could explain a little more. But if the doctor is saying that you were mild moderate, he's not supposed to be talking about how severe your symptoms are. They do, and they might get your hopes up or something like that. But they should not be talking about how your exam is going to translate into a rating, because they have no clue what a rater is going to do. Don't suck it up until the doctor when you can't take the pain. Yeah. Once you get into the pain, ow, like I can move it, but it hurts. My elbow's jacked up. I mean, I'm used to moving it. It doesn't bend out all the way, but it hurts. So it hurts. Oh, push through the pain. See where you're at, but let them know this is where it's starting to hurt. You just went to your first CNP exam today. They added a lot more claims I wasn't aware that I can claim. Is that good or bad? It's not a good or bad idea. It's what you have to work with. So you file the claim. Somehow you were not clear on what you were doing. One claim, right? It's all focused around one claim. Combat veteran, I'm filing a claim for combat PTSD. I'm not talking about my feet. I'm not talking about my erectile dysfunction. I'm talking about my combat PTSD and mental health and social and occupational impairment. I'm not throwing in my ear hairs and my left arm and stuff like that. So if you go in there and start wandering around in your personal statement, I have combat PTSD. I believe it was, or whatever. Actually, you can't even say that. I'm depressed. You probably can't even say that. I'm sad, and I think it's because of my time in combat. You know, that's basically what you could say on a personal statement. Going back to this, it happened. So the VA is using the duty to assist, and they're throwing in more claims. It's good if you can win them, but when they're adding in more things to your claim, and you are not controlling the narrative, and you're not providing a personal statement and an independent medical opinion documenting your diagnosis, severity of symptoms on each condition, it's probably going to be a bad idea. So don't be surprised if they just deny it. Got a CNP exam this week for sleep apnea. A sleep study? No, they're not going to give you a sleep study. A sleep study's different. A sleep apnea CNP exam was done over the phone or video conferencing. I mean, you did go in and do them, but there's not much to them. I mean, you're going to a CNP exam for sleep apnea, right? Think about it. Hey, veteran, that can't sleep with insomnia and obstructive sleep apnea. Do me a favor, hook me up. Sleep. Like, that doesn't happen. Nobody, I wish I could tell myself to do that. Trazodone and Xanax helps, but I go to sleep or wake up, just, whatever. So they're going to ask you, were you prescribed to CPAP? Do you have a diagnosis of sleep apnea? Do you have insomnia? Does it bother you? They're going to ask you light questions like that because they're going to be looking at the results of your sleep study. So I don't think you're going to have a sleep study for a CNP exam. I would say that's probably not going to happen. You have a CNP exam for headaches and GERD coming up. These are similar too. This could be done over the phone or over video conferencing. It doesn't necessarily need to be done in person, hands-on orthopedic exam. Okay, so how's your migraines? Bring on a migraine. They don't work like that. They work at the most inconvenient of times, right? And they lay you up for however long they lay you up for. And GERD is like that too. I understand you can have severe symptoms of GERD and migraines, but it's not something they can just bend. So I wouldn't be surprised if you, for your headaches and your GERD CNP exam, if they do it over the phone or video conferencing, and if they ask you minimal questions. But know where you think you're supposed to be rating, understand the rating criteria. I know for headaches, it's 80-100, 50, 30, 10, and 0. I don't know what GERD is. I know 60 is the highest. So know what they are, where you're supposed to be fitting in, and be prepared as much as you can. The hat looks like a 71-4. Not sure what that is. Bad Chad, thanks for uploading, man. I'm uploading. A lot of people say that I'm helping. I appreciate that. That's what I'm trying to do. Trying to help. All right, let's get some. Yeah, this is a good one. This one's kind of on the cusp, Sean. If I'm 100% P&T, yet I have CNP for flat feet, can the VA take away my 100% P&T rating? Absolutely. So you're 100% permanent and total, and then you're a dumb shit, and you decide to go file for an increase on something. So you get what? Special monthly compensation for an extra $100 a month? Erectile dysfunction? So you are opening yourself up to a reevaluation of everything. If you give them if you're 100% P&T, I would think very long and hard about going and getting more. I'm not saying don't do it if you have it. I'm saying whatever your disabilities are, you better have evidence to back up your ratings, or they will absolutely go in and reduce your ass, especially if you got your 100% P&T. Woo! I'm out of here. Time to go party. And you haven't showed up for 3 years? Expect a reduction. Yes, that's a good question, Tyler. Can they diagnose you during your CNP exam? I actually got a diagnosis of chronic fatigue syndrome in my last CNP exam. I went in there for chronic pain, but the way the pain was affecting my body and how much I move around, I actually got a diagnosis of chronic fatigue syndrome. So they absolutely can, and they do. They will confirm a diagnosis from a private doctor that you submit, or they will argue with it, or agree with it and then say the symptoms are lower. But they absolutely can. They're a doctor, and that happens a lot of times. That's probably the most often way you get a diagnosis, because VA doctors at the Veterans Health Administration, they will treat you for stuff without actually giving you an official diagnosis. So that's actually a good one. Just trying to read through. Okay, your CNP exams. Let's see what you have to say. Tinnitus, not CNP, just given 10%. My headache migraine exam was short and the examiner did not pay attention to you. So your headache migraine exam should be short. Like I said, few questions. I mean, what can they do? They can't just say, hey, have a headache. You talk about what your life's like when you do have a headache. It's not something you can control. If you could control it, you would turn it off and not have headaches. I'm sure you would much rather have no headaches and no reason to get compensation for them. Not paying attention to you, that's something that I would make a mental note on, not a recording note. Mental note. What's the guy doing? Is he like worried about his divorce? Is he paying attention to you? You're going to have to size him up. Don't be adversarial. You don't want this to go bad because you're a know-it-all and you're going to drag them and call them to account. You're never going to see this guy or girl again. They're completely irrelevant. Go in there and do your job, which is to go there and be a veteran with problems, and they're there to evaluate your whatever the VA tells them to evaluate. Boom, boom, boom. I guess I'll just throw these on here so it's not so boring. If you want CNP exam within 1 year of separating from service, and the CNP examiner diagnosed you with plantar fasciitis, but you don't have in-service medical records, can you still be service connected? Unknown. My plantar fasciitis developed after I got out, so sorry, not unknown. Yes, I'm not sure about the year thing. So obviously you had some foot conditions. Hopefully you have some kind of low ball rating for your foot, so you have something to build on. Once you have a rating for your foot, even if it's 0%, I had metatarsalgia. That means like broken bones. Then plantar fasciitis came on, pes planus. I don't know why I got pes planus afterwards. I don't know if your feet get flat that when you get older or something, but not really sure. But yeah, you can still be service connected for plantar fasciitis. Get independent medical evidence. Get an opinion from an independent doctor and do it right. Okay, going through. Yeah, Metal Mark. Yeah, you got my number. I just wanted to talk to you more and maybe even I want to find out more about this because I think this is huge, and you brought up a good point. I've been sitting here flipping this goniometer around backwards and for a good 8 months now, and it's funny that you're like, dude, I know what a goniometer is because you've said it. Like people say goniometer and they actually pronounce it wrong. I'm sure I did at first too. I know how to pronounce it now. You were diagnosed with mild PTSD at your CNP exam. What would that normally get? Mild CNP exam? That is 0 or 10%. I have no clue what mild PTSD even is. It's called post-traumatic stress disorder. Not I'm a little bit sad because something happened to my flower and my dog took a piss on it and it died. It's a big, heavy thing that is going to be with you for the rest of your life. I would say you're probably got a low ball rating because you didn't describe your symptoms properly. I would look in and see how much it's affecting your work life and your social life. And you need to open the skeleton closet. That's a great place to look. How many blackout drunk times did you do stuff? How many people did you assault and get away with it? How much did you do sneaky shit to your wife before she finally decided to divorce your ass? I think veterans don't know how to talk about their problems more, and they end up with a low ball rating versus they're just at 10%. In my CNP exam, I told them about my headaches. I basically described prostrating migraines, and she wrote down a description of prostrating, but didn't check the prostrating checkbox. I would say that you are feeding info, and doctors don't like that. Prostrating is a weird term, and when I first heard it, I was like, prostrate? What does that have to do with anything? So I didn't even know what prostrating meant a year and a half ago. I do now. It's a medical term, and I would not use it and throw it around. Oh, yeah, I'm prostrating. You could say they caused me to lay down. That would be something more normal. Unknown why she didn't check the box, but I would be very careful if you're going to any kind of headache CNP exam and using the word prostrating anywhere in your uh, personal statement or talking to them. I would just say lying down. You're a layman. You're allowed to say layman things, right? Not doctor things. Prostrating's a doctor word. You can understand it, just, you know what I mean? How much is a one bedroom apartment where you live? No clue. I don't live anywhere near apartments. I live in the country. Um, a one bedroom apartment would probably be some shitty little trailer that's like from the 70s on a couple acres of land. So unknown. Depends on how much, if you have power out to the land, right? You probably get a little chunk of land out here for 30 grand, and yeah, you got to run power though. That'll probably cost you another 30. Oh, this is good. I hired this stupid veterans consulting company who advised me not to attend my CNP exam. I have heard this too, and I've read about this. I do not know who this veteran consulting company is, but they're retarded. Um, and and then right, you're waiting on a decision, and they dicked you. They absolutely did, and it's hard to say, and I hired VA Claims Insider. I encourage people, and I'll encourage you. You want to sign up? CombatCraigWins.com. Sign up, and it worked for me. That's why I recommend VA Claims Insider. But I'm just some jackass in a cowboy hat, and a veterans consulting company may talk a good talk. I mean, you're the one driving this claim, so you're going to have to double check what everybody's saying. I mean, I would argue, what is your doctor saying? What medical stuff is he basing what he's saying on? That's how deep into it I am now. You have a lawyer. What law are you basing that on, Mr. Lawyer? Show me how you're going to argue this. I want to know exactly how you're going to make this argument. But that's me. I'm like just ridiculous about it now. But now I'm making videos and I'm having to understand how disabilities fit together, how basic strategies work, how the law works, how medical stuff works, just a working knowledge. That sucks, man. If anybody tells you not to attend a CNP exam, they're totally full of shit. You have to go to your CNP exam. Absolutely. Uh, yeah, I think we already talked about this. Mild to moderate. I think this is PTSD. Again, I don't think you're talking about your symptoms properly, but that's me. And I'm basing that on I wasn't talking about my symptoms properly. I didn't know that I should. And then, probably in my 20s and 30s, all the stuff that I was doing, all the drugs, crimes I was committing, stupid shit that I was doing, and then I got married and all the stuff I was hiding from my wife till she finally divorced my ass because I was just bad news. There was a lot of it I wasn't ready to talk about anyway. So, yeah, it's tough, but you got to talk about it. Skeleton closet is the first place to look. I'm not like a psychologist, and I'm not saying you got to go pull all these little skeleton bastards out and deal with them all. Just go grab a couple and look at them and go, oh shit, that's in there from 25 years ago. Back to the back of the skeleton closet for you. I'm going to work on this instead. Be aware of your skeletons. Where do you view your CNP exam notes from your examiner for mental health? This is a good question. I found the notes from the physical portion of the exam e-benefits. If it's done at the VA, you should be able to get them in My Healthy Vet in 30 days. If it's done by a contractor, you can request the notes. They're usually in the VBMS system. A VSO can get in there, or an accredited agent. Or you can do what I did and just request your C file, your entire claims file, and all of the notes will be in there. I like the C file route because it's everything. It shows all your mistakes. My first claim didn't show up to the CNP exam, didn't show up to anything they told me to do. Guess what, military? I'm out because you kicked me out, so you don't get to tell me what to do anymore. I'm going to show you and not show up to your stupid exam. That was dumb, but I guess I won round one by losing. But it's just funny looking at it on paper when I finally got my CNP exam. It's literally like, yep, veteran didn't show up, veteran didn't do anything. He just completely ignored everything, so we denied him. Is there a way you can view upcoming CNP exams? Not that I'm aware of. They're going to just pop up. That's what they do. Whatever level you're in the claims process, it's going to end up on a rater's desk, and the raters can be like, need a CNP exam, and they're going to order one, and most likely a contractor will reach out to you and tell you, ask you for some dates and tell you what it's for. If not, find out what it's for. Dan. I haven't seen you here before, Dan. Welcome. And if I have talked to you before, memory loss is my problem. So you had your first CNP exam in 11 years. I haven't really seen a private doctor. I've only been getting seen at the VA for 2 or 3 years. X-rays and MRI say I've gotten worse. Shoulders. You've been diagnosed with severe depression related to the pain. What length of time do I need to wait before filing a secondary claim? So you have your first CNP exam, and I'll just go back to this part. I'm guessing, I don't know if you filed a claim or they just are evaluating you after 11 years. But if you have been going to the VA and for 2 or 3 years, that would be considered current-ish. Current is more like 6 months or a year, but 2 or 3 years is current enough. X-rays, MRI, complaints, you should be okay there if you're defending a rating. If you're going to layer in a mental health claim for somatic symptom disorder or chronic pain syndrome, do it now. The pain's worse now. It's affecting your life worse now. I don't know when you filed your last claim, but no time like the present, they say. Go get a independent medical opinion from a board certified psychologist and get that filed. Tom Marine Vet, what's up, you old coot? Tom's my boy. I talk to him a couple times a week. He's keeps me grounded, and he always picks up the phone, and he always tells me to keep smiling. So how's that for a smile, Tom? Let's see. Good question, Hank. So if you note discrepancies during your CNP, do you have to wait until a higher level review? So discrepancies is a loaded word. Let me just talk about it a little bit. I'm going to try to keep your comment up here. So you are a layman moron with a disability, and you're saying that a doctor who's not a moron that was hired to check you out is doing things wrong. So you need to make sure, first of all, what the hell you're talking about, such as an orthopedic exam, measuring range of motion, and he's not using a tool, totally ignoring you, really obvious stuff. Um, you do not have to wait for a higher level review. You can call the 800 number and tell them you had an inadequate Cnp exam. What I would do is I would file a personal statement on VA Form 21 4138 and put it in writing. I showed up at this time. The guy was in the bathroom jacking off the whole time, paid no attention to me, didn't do any range of motion, didn't even enter anything on I thought I saw something on his computer, or he told me he was going to be recording stuff on a computer. His computer was shut off due to the internet not working. Some of these facts, I would put that into a written statement, send it to upload it into your va.gov file, and then call the 800 number and call them and ask them if they got it. You do not need to call them. You can call them and explain it, but this is the point of my video today. Your words, what you say can and will be used against you. All you need to say to the VA is very little, and everything can be said in writing. Every time you get on the phone to explain yourself, you're opening yourself up for contradiction. You already said what you got to say. This is this, and that is that, right? You don't need to re-explain it. I will say one thing in writing. I mean, look at me. I've been babbling on about Cnp exams for 47 minutes. I have no clue what I was saying 5 minutes ago. If you're a babbler and a rambler, I would just 21 41 38 and call, make sure they got it. Click, thank you. And then write that down too. They said they got it. You thought they cannot reduce P&T. Good. This was my point. I'm 100% permanent in total. I do not have any future exams scheduled. I'm in my 50s, 51. My conditions are not expected to get better. I do not trust P&T personally, but I do understand that I am not going to just lose it. But if I file any kind of a claim, I open up the entire claim. Once they open up your entire claim, they can go in there and just start lopping shit off, especially if you're not going in and defending that stuff. So everything I have a rating for, I get treatment for. Whether it helps or not, I don't care. I want medical evidence in there because I want to get better. They don't think it's ever going to get better. I do happen to agree. Most of this stuff I've dealt with for 30 years, but it doesn't mean that I'm not going to try. I mean, some voodoo witch doctor thing might work. I had a acupuncturist from the VA doing some cupping on me. If you ever had cupping, that felt good. Left this big hickeys all over. So I'm down to try anything. If you guys want to send me to something, give me some shots, reduce some pain, I'm down. Okay. So, Mike, they can reduce a P&T rating if you give them a reason to. If you file another claim when you're 100% P&T, you can open up your entire claim and get reduced. If you just don't file any more claims and don't give them a reason to go looking, then they will not reduce you. Hopefully, that was clear enough. Just the reason I understand this is because I am 100% P&T, and I do have erectile dysfunction, and this is my thought process. Like, I've got it. It sucks. I talk about it on videos. It's affected me for a long time. Then like anger, and it's definitely part of the meds and the PTSD. And then like the old angry Combat Craig is kind of like, I should go file a claim for it. They should be paying me that extra $110. But then rational Combat Craig is like, what are you doing, dumb shit? you're 3,100 bucks a month. 110 bucks isn't worth, reducing everything. So you got to make the decision on your own. I'm just saying, I'm not filing for any special monthly compensation. None of that shit is worth it. My mental health, my anxiety, my depression, I just cannot deal with going through another claim. If for some reason they decide to reduce me or something, again, it wouldn't happen because I'm P&T. I'll deal with that. But until then, I'm going to keep getting treatment for everything and pretend like I don't have P&T. And I'm totally rambling. Hey, Craig, over 6 months, no CNP exam. Is no news still good news? It's just no news. It's kind of like claim deferred. I have a friend of mine that I told him, hey, he also filed a combat PTSD claim, similar situation, similar in age. Mine happened quickly. I filed it. I actually didn't have a CNP exam for combat PTSD, but for the chronic pain stuff, I got that. I was got the call in 3 weeks and was scheduled probably 2 weeks out. Like it was done. The whole thing was done in 2.5 months, probably. It's just no news. I don't know why you don't have a CNP exam. Prepare for it. Prepare that you're going to have a CNP exam until you get a decision letter in the mail with your new rating on it saying whatever. We had enough evidence. Right. I'm answering Mike's questions a lot over and over again. Sorry. How do you find out if your claims are static or not? There's a code sheet. I wish I could show it to you. It's in your C file. You can call the 800 number and get your code sheet with all your disabilities. It's not going to be on your va.gov or eBenefits account. It's a code sheet is the best way I can explain it. And it says static, or I don't even know what it doesn't matter. Static's what you're looking for. If it says something other than static, it's probably not static. Okay. Yeah, what's up, Chris? You should give me a call too. I gave you my number, you and Metal Mark. And yeah, you guys are. I'm getting phone calls, and I'm no longer taking phone calls. That was a disaster. I wish I knew more, but I don't. So I'm doing this thing in my videos where I'm putting a hashtag and then I'm going through this random comment generator thing and I'm picking somebody and saying, hey, um, you're the winner of this video. So I'm calling people on my own terms and just be prepared that I probably have no clue what you're talking about. You're watching me for a reason, and I appreciate that. But I I do talk about things like I study up most of the time, and I know what I'm talking about. If you're going to start hitting me with what happens in the third level of year 4 of the BVA, no clue. Sounds like a place that I don't want to be. Sucks to be you, and your claim sucks. I'm going to say a lot of things like that. If your claim sucks, I'm going to say, kill it, let it go as hard as it may be, and start over. It's something we're all able to do. All right, you guys, I'm going to wrap it up. I'll leave this live on here. I'll probably delete it, but I'm probably going to try to turn this thing into a video. So I heard my phone ring. So Chris and Mark, it was probably one of you guys or somebody else. And yeah, just I'm trying to figure out how to do this phone thing, trying to do these lives. And I don't want to come off like some asshole that's too good to talk to people. I just can't get trapped on the phone for hour conversations. There's no such thing as, hey, Craig, I got a quick question. Oh, hey, do I need a nexus? Oh, what's an independent medical opinion? Oh, what's the severity of symptoms? So when I get onto the onto the phone call, I'm going to go down the rabbit hole with you because I want you to get something productive out of our conversation. So keep entering my little contest, and I will talk to you guys later. Have a great evening.